Crews are on alert just in case, guys. Don't worry, so keep on doing what you're doing. Thanks very much. It is now 7:01 as we take a closer look at the top stories on this Wednesday morning. The suspect in a long-running murder case of two St. Albert seniors is now free on bail. Travis Vader will be under house arrest as charges against him have been reactivated. He was initially charged back in 2012 in the deaths of Lyle and Marie McCann. They went missing in July 2010. Their charred motorhome found days later, but their bodies never been recovered. The case against Vader was abruptly stayed in March, but on Friday, Mounties rearrested him. But so far, there's no word on why.
A new trial date will be set, so we will have to wait and see how things develop from this point.
For asking for an explanation as to why this was done. This very unusual procedure in a serious case like this.
Vader was released last night on $25,000 bail from the remand center. He's due back in court January 23rd. Luca Magnotta will be off to prison for life with no chance of parole for 25 years. The Montreal jury found the 32-year-old guilty of first-degree murder and 4 other counts in the 2012 slaying and dismemberment of Chinese engineering student Jun Lin. Jurors deliberated for 7.5 days before returning that verdict.
This does not return his son. It gives him no pleasure to see this man punished or sent away. It's better than nothing, but the closure he would want is to see his son back.
And despite that, Lynn's father says he is satisfied that the Canadian legal system brought justice for his son's murder. A deadly White Ave fight over the weekend is our city's 27th homicide of the year. An autopsy confirmed 24-year-old Rod Hamza died of blunt force trauma. He was outside Billiards Club Saturday night when a fight broke out. Hamza was taken to hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Officials still looking to talk to at least 6 witnesses they believe can provide important information about the case. Well, a leaner Wild Rose Party will keep its status as Alberta's official opposition. Last week, the Wild Rose caucus shrank to just 6 MLAs, leaving them tied with the Liberals. Their leader, Raj Sherman, asked Speaker Jean Zwazeski to name the Liberals as the official opposition. He said the Wild Rose was too similar to the ruling Tories to oppose effectively. After mulling it over for a week, Zwazeski opted for the status quo.
Fairly strong footing with respect to the decision that I made.
We're obviously very pleased with the ruling and will continue on as Her Majesty's loyal opposition.
For the sake of democracy, we feel that it's important to have a differing voice in opposition.
Their opposition.
Wild Rose will now focus on finding a permanent party leader. Interim leader Heather Forsyth will continue until that vote takes place. Well, for those of you set to tackle the wondrous, joyful experience of holiday air travel, a few important reminders this morning. About 25,000 people expected to pass through the Edmonton terminal each day this holiday season. Airport officials urging travelers to prepay bag fees and pre-print boarding passes to make life a little easier. They're also encouraging everyone to arrive earlier than usual, as staff say it will be difficult to rebook flights as most are sold out.
There are lots of things you can do before you are out here, and that can keep you out of lines as much as possible. So, for example, you can book online for your parking and reserve your spot. You need to just check and make sure that what you're taking and carry-on is allowed. So, of course, the liquids and gels restriction.
Officials say airport staff is increasing. Therapy dogs and Santa is also on site to facilitate the travel. And indeed, if you find yourself flustered, the airport does have pet therapy this time around. Is using the dogs to keep travelers' anxiety away. Therapy Society has volunteers walk their pups around the terminals. Now, this is Drifter's first Christmas at the airport. He helps to keep frazzled flyers calm and collected during the busy travel season.
I think it's a great program. I'm an anxious flyer, so to have a dog come and approach me, I would be great with that. So, and I think that's what's been happening here too. Drifter loves he really enjoys the snuggles and he enjoys working.
And who couldn't use snuggles this holiday season? The Pet Society has been providing pet therapy at the airport. Volunteer for them since Easter. Meanwhile, city malls expected to deck their halls with last-minute shoppers today. Tuesday was expected to be the busiest shopping day of the year in Canada. Customers taking advantage of big deals and extended hours. But even with shorter hours today, stores anticipating a strong final push. So what's pushing consumers to hold off so long?
I couldn't get the time off. When I was off, it was late in the evening, so I didn't really feel like coming to battle the crowds.
I don't know, just procrastination, I guess.
I always tell everybody, if you come in the last couple of days, it's a lot easier because there's not near as many things to choose from.
I'm just glad I'm finished. Now I got to go home and wrap these things.
Now, if you still have a few things to grab, not like me, I've got it all taken care of, don't worry. Most Edmonton malls are open today until about 5 or 6 o'clock. So